The match with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24, I was there in Orlando that night, and it was just, people were crying.
So was I.
But it was epic, you know, from you coming out with the robe on and all the pyro and all that kind of stuff to "I'm sorry, I love you."
Yeah.
Was it as good as you wanted it to be, the story and how it played out?
Well, I had no idea it would be that good, number one. Number two, Shawn carried me. I mean, it was like, literally, I was in the ring, but Shawn was doing it all. And for the first time in my entire life, he actually looked at me in what we call gorilla, which is where we all stand for a go out. He said, "Just shut up and listen to me. Don't say a word." And no one would ever tell me that in my life, except maybe Harley Race, you know. But and I did, and he did all the work, and I was there. And I'm not ashamed to admit that for a second. He worked for both of us. But it was, the people bought it, and I had no idea, and then I had no idea the reaction would be that big. And after the night before with the Hall of Fame, and then the next night with Raw, I mean, I think it's the most special retirement that I've ever seen in sports. And whether you're in Canton, Ohio, or Cooperstown for baseball, or, you know, it was amazing. And the thing that I like, that you guys, can you all hear me? In Europe, if you're really good at something, you become admired. You become legendary. United States, when you get older, you're an athlete, you're washed up. He's done, he's gone, no good, right? Forget him, he's not worth them. Over here, you become revered. If you've been really good at something, your reputation, Europeans don't let, don't let their heroes be talked about, or they're remembered for the good things they've done. And that's a big difference in the United States. One day the guy's good, the next day it's terrible. And it's, we see that, and I think to myself, what a difference to have the respect and admiration of the European or English culture, as opposed to the American athletes, that they can make one mistake and their career amounts to nothing. And that's not the same. So over here, I feel it's the same way with wrestling. Everybody here's retired, and look at the turnout for the fans that have come to see us. And that's one word. It's called respect. So I appreciate it, and I'm sure I'm speaking on behalf of everybody else.
And with that retirement, how special was it for you during that retirement that Taker comes out and does it, Vince comes out?
That's what I'm saying. You can't repeat that. I had no idea. I got to the building and they put all that together without telling me. I had no idea. They called me at 2 o'clock and said, "You need to come by the building." And they had put all that together in less than 24 hours. So it was just a tremendous experience. I can't put it into words how cool it was.
And one of the other great things about your career is you have your retirement, but then your daughter, Charlotte, becomes a pro wrestler, and she's just become the man. She's become the queen, whatever name you want to use. She started in NXT. She didn't come in from somewhere else. She started from the ground and made her way up. And she's huge. She's the best.
She's it.
I mean, can you talk a little bit about her getting into...
You can say it. She's the best thing they've got, man or woman. And a lot of that's because Roman had an illness, which was very sad. But anytime you're off TV for a while, you lose momentum. And she's been lucky health-wise to be there and stay in. And yeah, I couldn't be prouder of her. And she's done it on her own, Being my daughter was not easy. People think, well, that's cool, it's Ric Flair's daughter. It's just the opposite. They make it harder. People are more skeptic, she got this because of that, and that's all bullshit. She's worked very hard, and she's a better athlete than I ever was. So
what I thought was really interesting about it was that you were her manager for a while, and it wasn't, you know, sometimes you'll have a parent who is the manager and they have the whole spotlight, but she took that spotlight herself, and that was really cool to watch. Well, that must have been a cool experience for you to be at ringside with her for a while and sort of see her grow.
Oh, it was. But as much as fun as I had being with her, I was with the kids in the dressing room and going out afterwards, and, you know, it's over here. We came over here, and that was just like it was, you know, in the 90s again. So it was just an opportunity for me to travel and have fun and, you know, watch her grow as a person, as a personality, and as a talent. And it was right before my very eyes. Women don't have matches any better than that. They just don't. So.
And I do want, you know, obviously, thank God you've come.
Women or men. That was that match. Look at the Mania match. The women going on last was a lot of responsibility, but they had a hell of a match, and that's what made it.
Can you talk about that day, WrestleMania, and you being backstage and seeing your daughter being the first, one of the first women to main event ever? What that experience was like for you?
Well, it'd been a whole week of just knowing, and actually when they made the match and she would start it, and it just. I've never seen her so excited, and I mean, just visibly taken back by it. But the day of the event, she actually was pretty calm. The arena is so big, I didn't see her much because she was with Rhonda and Becky and whoever their producer was. But I spent about a half hour with her before the match started, and she was fine. She was confident. She was nervous, which is, it's always good to be nervous before something like that. But she was ready to go and on the mark, and they went out there, and boy, they didn't let anybody down. That was to go in the ring at 12 o'clock at night or 12:15 after the fans being there for from 3 o'clock, almost 9 hours. They tore the joint down. It was great. And it's something that may never happen again. So it's something that'll be remembered and treasured. And in 20 years from now, when she's over here signing autographs to you guys, she'll be asking the same question. So, yeah, it was tremendous. All three of them. Rhonda's a special girl. Becky is too. That's something they can live with forever and be proud of that moment.